Jasmine, thanks. All right, tonight, a bizarre story out of Maryland that BWI workers say highlights their concerns with worker conditions at the airport. They say workers report being doused with raw sewage at work, then being denied a shower as their shift continues for 7 more hours.
Yeah, it's just one of the grievances that now has them demanding help. And our Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell is joining us from the airport with the very latest on this bizarre story. Brad?
Yeah, Scott, we're talking about 100 people who work for a contractor which services Spirit Airlines. These are the people that unload planes when they come into the airport and load them up and get them ready to get back in the air again. And they're saying that their jobs have become more dangerous than they should be. If you fly Spirit Airlines in or out of BWI Airport, your checked bag is loaded or unloaded on your plane by Tyrone Daniels or one of his co-workers on the ground crew. They also clean the planes and empty the laboratory holding tanks.
Now, without us, this is not going to happen.
Your bags
so we're pretty much a major, aspect as to how everything works.
But now Daniels and his crew are speaking out, rallying at the airport, claiming they are taken for granted, their safety ignored. One graphic and gross example, they say back in March, a worker emptying a holding tank was doused in feces and urine.
What's happening is everything is trying to, come out, but it's hard because it's frozen. So by the time it actually does come out, if it doesn't, that tube breaks, oh, you're in trouble. And it's a messy situation, literally a messy situation.
What made it worse, claims the group, is that worker was then required to continue working, handling baggage for another 7 hours without taking a shower. And so now, assisted by the SEIU union, they've filed an unsafe work conditions complaint with the state of Maryland against their employer, an airport services company called AGI. Worker safety activist Jordan Barab also sharing photos of what he calls poorly maintained and dangerous equipment.
These vehicles have malfunctioning brakes and seat belts. The covers on the front sometimes come loose, flying up and obstructing vision. Vehicles like that would never be allowed on the road, much less on a tarmac where you've got moving airplanes and people in other vehicles.
Yeah, and so late this afternoon, the company, AGI, for whom these employees work, is responding. They've sent me a statement saying that any allegation that they don't take their employees' safety seriously is false. They're also saying that they've got procedures for employees to report things like we heard today, and that none of these incidents were actually reported to supervisors and to the company. They say this is an attempt by the union to organize this particular workforce. Now, their complaint to the state is in, and as we understand it, the state is now obliged to send inspectors out and check out these claims. At BWI, Brad Bell, 7 News.